Gold now out to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big-time run there by Sony Michel. 66 yards for him on the ground. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. He tried to buy some time to the right. So, Charles, when a guy gets out of the pocket, what's the focus of the quarterback?
Most of them keep their eyes downfield. They want to try and make a play throwing the ball. Some of them, they want to tuck it and go. But when they scramble, in this case, as you said, to the right, you're cutting the field in half. So good defenses kind of converge in that spot, and they don't give you much territory to throw the ball. He had nowhere to go with it. Ends up getting the ball stripped.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson. Oh, and a big loss here as he's taken down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
To throw on second is Watson. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Back to throw, Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On second down, Michel. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. In for the score. And the Patriots are within an extra point of tying this one up. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Richmond. Tiger.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Faking the give, now Watson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Come back. Tiger.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Watson now to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him. Complete. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season opener opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a
different story.
long night.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. From the gun, here's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Hard throw, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Flush, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this 1st half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the 1st half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
Richmond.
And they'll go on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now they try the right side here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Come back. Come back.
3rd and long. It's Watson. Gets it to Strong. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though? when they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. A big play there for New England. 57 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And this is going to be incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff?
But that's caught at the 25. And he gets this deep into Patriot territory. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 56 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Come back.
From the red zone now, Watson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Watson dancing to his left. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Patriots have it. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On the handoff, it's Michel. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 13 at a New England first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Give him 7 yards on the carry, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. They'll drop to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Lucky 56. All right, here we go. 319. 319.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's his target, the tight end, will tie. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. They'll turn to Michel as they go back to the ground. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They're going to look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Now, throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Watson now. Going to throw again. Caught left side, Hopkins. 23 yards on the play. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
On first down, Watson. He dumps it to Hyde. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play.
Come back, come back.
On first and 10, Watson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Richmond.
Here's Watson. And he's got Fuller. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Come back, come back.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Come back, come back.
To throw is Watson. This is caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Come back, come back.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans have broken the tie. And it's up and good. Gold now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And now out come the Patriots. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10. A give, this is Michelle. Space to maneuver at the 40, and he'll take it to the 43-yard line. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25. On the ground, this is Michel, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll look to throw. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Now a pitch out to Michel. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. He'll check this one down to Michel. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They give him a gain of 38. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
Detroit! Detroit!
And they will run it with Michel. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He's letting this one go for Fuller. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Do that! Do that!
Now Carlos Hyde in the game. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
Watson now to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Brandon, these cornerbacks have their hands full all afternoon long, but they finally get a measure of revenge as he gets himself in a nice spot. He's able to get 2 hands on the football and pick it off.
They begin with Michel on the ground. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And it's Michel once again. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Coming left is Michel. Oh, twisting away. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Trailing here in the 3rd, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Now this time he'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within a point. It can be a thankless job sometimes to be a kicker, but they're thanking him right now. That's now 4 field goals. He's kept them in the game.
He sure has. That offense has got to find its rhythm, because I'm not sure that just kicking field goals is going to allow them to win this game.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Watson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. The Texans on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Watson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Patriots take over. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe
Super toe.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Leopard! Watch him now, Barney!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football. I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in the second half. Instead, it's third down. Pretty lucky to get the football. Back, had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities, you get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
The Texans on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. A shotgun snap for Watson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Throwing again is Watson. Steps away to his left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter if he needs to make those plays when the lanes go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Call it a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Rolling to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Morgan. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Watson. He's got the completion to Strong. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. First down, a run with Hyde. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They run it again with Hyde. Runs over it. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter. Do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. It's first and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Oh, how about this on first and goal? And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Throwing now, Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. That's going to set them back 5 yards. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. And Gold is able to put it through, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now. They'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. So the Patriots coming out now. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.